Audi Q5 is not the SUV people dream about. It's the SUV people end up choosing, and that difference matters more than most buyers realize. Because the 2026 Audi Q5 isn't built to excite you. It's built to calm you down, to reassure you, to make you stop asking questions. That sounds harmless, but for the wrong buyer, it's a trap. This is the new Audi Q5 for 2026. Now the only Q5 Audi sells, the old generation is gone. No overlap, no cheaper alternative. This is the decision Audi wants you to make. On paper, looks easy. A turbocharged engine. All-wheel drive as standard, A tech interior packed with screens, and a badge that still carries serious weight in the luxury space. But buying a luxury SUV isn't about checking boxes anymore. It's about what kind of driver you are and what kind of person you want to be seen as. And the Audi Q5 makes that choice for you. Whether you realize it or not, let's start with what Audi did right. Under the hood, there's only one option. A 2.0-liter turbocharged four-cylinder engine making 268 horsepower. It's paired to a 7-speed dual-clutch automatic and Audi's Quattro all-wheel drive system. No V6. No performance split. No confusing trim-level power games. AD decided that this is enough power for everyone. And honestly, for most people it is. The engine is smooth, quiet, and refined. Power delivery is linear and predictable. The dual transmission shifts quickly, and more importantly, smoothly at low speeds, something many dual-clutch gearboxes still struggle with. In daily driving, the Q5 feels composed, confident, never rushed, never strained. Audi claims 0 to 60 in about 5.8 seconds. That's slightly slower than the previous generation. Slower than some rivals, but in the real world, it doesn't feel slow. It feels controlled. And that word defines the entire vehicle. The steering has been revised. For 22.6, it's quicker. More. It's direct. But it's also numb. You don't feel the road. You don't feel the tires loading up in a corner. You don't feel much of anything. That's not an accident. Audi tuned this SUV to isolate you, to not involve you. The suspension is well sorted over broken pavement, highway expansion joints, and uneven city streets. The Q5 stays calm and stable. There's an available air suspension. If you want an even smoother ride and slightly sharper responses on clean pavement. But even then, this isn't a sporty SUV, and Audi isn't pretending it is. This is not a BMW X3 that wants you to drive harder. It's not a Porsche Macan that begs you to take the long way home. And it's definitely not an AMG, trying to overwhelm you with noise and drama. The Audi Q5 is business-first transportation, and nowhere is that more obvious than inside. The interior is where Audi flexes hardest. The design follows a Bauhaus philosophy, clean lines, restrained shapes, and an obsession with digital precision. In front of you is an 11.9-inch digital gauge cluster, flowing seamlessly into a massive 14.5-inch central touchscreen. And optionally, there's a 10.9-inch passenger display with a privacy filter, so the driver can't see what's on it. 3 screens, 1 cockpit. It looks impressive. It looks expensive. It looks like the future Audi wants you to buy into. Materials are solid. Leather, fabric, metal are combined tastefully. Nothing feels cheap. Nothing feels excessive. The flat-topped and flat-bottomed steering wheel adds a sporty visual touch, even if the driving experience doesn't fully match the look. The front seats are comfortable, though they could use more padding for longer drives. They look great, they hold you well, but they're not lounge chairs in the second row. Space is acceptable, but not class-leading. 6-foot passengers will fit without complaint, but this isn't the most spacious back seat in the segment. You do get modern conveniences back there. USB-C ports. Optional heated seats. Everything you'd expect, nothing more. Cargo space is slightly down compared to the previous generation. You get 27.6 cubic feet behind the rear seats and 56.9 cubic feet with them folded. That's enough. Not impressive. Not disappointing again. That theme returns. Enough. The infotainment system runs on Google's Android Automotive software. It's powerful, it's customizable, and it's also complicated. There are menus within menus. Submenus stacked on top of options. For tech-savvy drivers, it's a playground. For everyone else, it can feel like work. Wireless Apple CarPlay and Android Auto are included, which helps. There's also an available head-up display and a 16-speaker. Bang & Olufsen sound system if you want premium audio. But make no mistake, this is a system you learn, not one that disappears into the background. And that matters, because the Q5 is not trying to entertain you, it's trying to organize your life. Safety tech follows. It's the same philosophy. Automated emergency braking and lane departure warning are standard. More advanced systems like adaptive cruise control with traffic sign recognition are optional. Audi doesn't overwhelm you with driver assistance by default. You choose how much automation you want. Warranty coverage is exactly what you'd expect. 4 years or 50,000 miles for both limited and powertrain coverage. 3 years or 30,000 miles of complimentary. Maintenance, nothing special, nothing lacking. Now let's talk about fuel economy. Official EPA numbers for the 2026 model aren't out yet, but because the drivetrain is mechanically identical to last year's model, expect similar ratings. That means around 22 miles per gallon in the city and 30 on the highway. And this is where competitors quietly pull ahead. The BMW X3 does better. The Mercedes-Benz GLC does better. If efficiency is your top priority, the Q5 is not winning this fight. And that brings us to the uncomfortable truth about this SUV. The Audi Q5 doesn't dominate any single category. It doesn't drive the best. It doesn't get the best. It's fuel economy. It doesn't have the most luxurious interior. It doesn't have the most cargo space. What it does have is balance. And balance is dangerous, because balance feels safe. The Q5 is the SUV you buy when you don't want to argue with yourself, when you don't want to justify your choice, when you don't want surprises. It's the SUV for people who value calm over excitement, consistency over character, confidence over passion. And that's perfectly fine if you know that going in. But many buyers don't. They walk into a dealership comparing spec sheets, horsepower, numbers, screen sizes, brand reputations. And the Audi Q5 wins those conversations quietly. Until 6 months later, when they realize something, they never talk about their car. They don't look back at it. In parking lots, they don't make excuses to drive it. They don't feel anything when they press the start button. It just works. And for some people, that's exactly the point. If you want more power, Audi has an answer. The SQ5 exists for buyers. You want the Q5 experience with muscle added? It hits 60 in about 4.3 seconds. It comes standard with adaptive air suspension. And it delivers stronger acceleration without sacrificing comfort. The interior stays familiar, clean, modern, and well-assembled, but adds more aggressive touches. Available quilted leather, and a bit more visual drama. It's still not the sharpest performance SUV in the segment. BMW and Porsche still own that territory, but the SQ5 makes a stronger emotional case. And then there's the comparison nobody likes to talk about, the Mercedes-Benz GLC. If interior luxury is your top priority, GLC's cabin feels richer, more indulgent, more special. Audi's interior is precise. Mercedes' interior is seductive. That difference matters more than horsepower numbers. So who should actually buy the 2026 Audi Q5? This SUV is for buyers who don't want to think about their car every day. For professionals who want competence, it's not conversation starters. For people who see driving as a task, not a hobby. It's for buyers who want technology, but not chaos. Luxury, but not flash. Performance, but not drama. If you're the type of driver who wants feedback, excitement, and emotional connection, the Q5 will feel sterile. If you're the type of driver who wants reliability, refinement, and calm authority, the Q5 will feel perfect. And that's the real decision Audi forces you to make. Not between trims, not between engines, but between personality types. The 2026 Audi Q5 is not a mistake. It's not boring by accident. It's not playing it safe because Audi lacks ambition. It's designed to remove friction from your life. And whether that's brilliant or disappointing depends entirely on who you are. If you want a luxury SUV that challenges you, this isn't it. If you want one that questions your decisions, this isn't it. If you want one that fades into your routine and never asks for attention, the Audi Q5 might be exactly what you've been looking for. Just don't confuse calm with passion, because once you choose the Q5, Audi has already chosen your driving experience for you.